It's time for CIBL Biz Tips, bringing you actionable strategies to grow and improve your business. Prepare to become civilized.
What's up, Central Illinois? Welcome to CIBL Biz Tips, where we bring you concepts and strategies to grow your Central Illinois business. I'm Derek Hayden. I am your host today, and in the Zoom recording studio, we have the owner of the Storyteller Studios in Springfield, Illinois, Mr. Josh Hester. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing well. How are you this morning? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Doing great. Thanks for joining us. So if for you listeners, you may have caught Josh's full interview several weeks ago. I can't remember what date it went out, but if you haven't checked that out, make sure you go back into our archives and check out Josh's full interview, and you'll learn a little bit more about the Storyteller Studios in Springfield, how Josh created that business and what he does to help businesses tell their story through video marketing. So today, Josh is here to give us some biz tips information. And Josh, I think the first topic that we discussed is going to be, you've created 3 ingredients for every effective marketing video. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about those 3 ingredients?
Great. Yeah. So when we're talking about marketing video, first of all, we all understand that video content is the best way to reach your target audience on social media, on your websites. And of course, we want those videos to be effective. So then that begs the question, well, what is effective, right? What does the data show us about what's effective? And we've boiled that down to 3 ingredients. You can think of it like a recipe. So every effective video that you make for your business to post on your website or on social media to reach a target audience should have 3 ingredients. And they are: 1, they should be brief. And that won't surprise anybody. That's the first ingredient. And specifically, the way we think about this is on your website or on a landing page, they got there probably from somewhere else. So that viewer is already interested in learning more about your product or service. So they might invest a little bit more time than a colder social media audience would that's just scrolling through it on their newsfeed. But still, data shows you definitely still want to keep it brief. We recommend 3 minutes for a website video, 4 minutes if we have to, but if your video is over 4 minutes, you really need to think about why and how can I get that down? Because the bottom line is, and believe me, we make videos for a living. I went to film school for college. I hate this, but people don't watch long videos. So this is a reality that we have to deal with as marketers.
Yeah.
So that's the first ingredient, is that be brief. And then also on social media, it's 2 minutes or less.
Nice.
If you're going to put ad dollars behind it, if you're going to boost a post or run it as a digital ad, 60 seconds or less is where you want to be. So hopefully that helps focus the mind, all right, from the jump. Whatever video content you're planning, whatever message you're planning, it needs to be something you can deliver in 2 minutes or less on social media, 60 seconds for a digital ad, or 3-4 minutes max on your website. And I say, well, Josh, my message is really important and really complicated, and I can't possibly deliver it in 2 minutes. Okay, well, sometimes when we're talking with clients, I'll use the analogy of snack size, like Snickers, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have a bowl of snack size Snickers in front of you, you might eat a handful of them. But if you have a bowl of regular size Snickers, you might eat one or even half of one, right? So it has to do with the viewer's commitment to your content. So people they may consume 10 or 15 minutes of content from you, but it's not going to be all at once. It's going to be in snack sizes.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
Maybe instead of one video, we're talking about multiple videos, a series, if you will.
I like that.
Number 2, second ingredient, is that effective marketing videos are authentic. And of course, this is what our work is all about here at Storyteller. But by authentic, what we mean is the message is delivered by real people speaking in their own words from the heart about whatever the topic is. So we do away with some of the more traditional production techniques like scripted voiceovers, actors, obviously, omniscient narration. All that stuff doesn't work on the internet. I like to say the internet is not television.
Yeah.
The internet's a totally different experience. People expect it to be conversational. It's a two-way street. So it needs to be authentic, and people want to feel like the message is something that they can trust, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we mean by authentic. So resist the temptation to script yourself, because as good at it as you think you are, the viewer, don't underestimate the intelligence of the viewer. They are smart enough to know that you are reading a script, and even subliminally in the back of their mind, they're not going to trust that message as much. So that's number two. Number three, and this is probably the most important of the three ingredients, is that the content has to be valuable. And what I mean by that is you are teaching the viewer something they didn't know before. You're showing them something they don't usually get to see, or maybe you're entertaining them in a way that's unexpected. Like, you can be funny. It's valuable to be funny if it's on brand for you, right? So that's what we mean by valuable. Video, particularly on social media, is not the place for the hard sell. This is not the infomercial era, right? This is not like, my service is great and here's why, right?
Yeah.
Your content on social media in particular needs to be really helpful. Just try to be as helpful as you can. It doesn't happen so much anymore, but it used to be that, like, the number one desire of marketing departments and clients that we work with was to go viral, like, with any particular video. And I would always say, like, why? I mean, I get it. Like, you want as many eyeballs on your content as possible, but I would ask, who do we want to go viral with? Like, your target audience. Yeah, you want to go viral with your target audience. That doesn't necessarily mean the whole world, because messages designed for the whole world are, they're generally weak. So you want to focus on your target audience, and you want to consider, okay, what do they care about most? How can I be most helpful to that target audience? How can I serve them with my content? And that's the stuff. If you think about your own behavior on social media and the internet, when you share a video with someone else, usually what's happening is you and that someone else have a common interest, and that video you found valuable when it comes to that common interest. And so you share it with that other person, thinking like, I'm into this, you're going to be into it too. This is cool. I didn't know this before, or this is really funny, right? Stuff like that. That's what people share.
Absolutely.
So those are the three ingredients of effective marketing videos. They are brief, they are authentic, and they're valuable.
I love it. That makes it easy. So for any of you listeners out there, this can apply to any business from what it sounds like, Josh. It's not just a professional service or an office related. It's any business out there that's wanting to market your product or services via video can use these three tips or three strategies to get across to your target audience in a more effective manner. So I'm just going to use an example as we wrap up here, Josh, that I'm a window cleaner, let's say.
Okay.
So obviously brief is easy. Make it a short, quick, not a 20 to 30 minute podcast interview like we do. People want a quick, they have that short attention span. I think you said 60 seconds for social media ads. Maybe if you're just doing a general post at most 2 minutes, and then kind of a video for your website would be 4 minutes or less.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Authentic. You don't want to script it. You want to be yourself. You want to show yourself doing, the services that you provide, and, don't act like a robot or a salesperson who's just, talking to a camera. Be yourself, and then valuable. You're educating. So you're telling the story in an educational manner. Does that sound right?
That's right. Yeah. And
Perfect.
I think when it comes to valuable, you can think of it in terms of life hacks. Like people love life hacks. So what is a window cleaning life hack that that a lot of other people don't? And teach us that.
Yeah.
Sometimes people, especially in a service business, they get a little nervous about that because they're like, well, I'm like giving away my secrets. No, I wouldn't worry about that, because the reality is, if you are really good at it, if your service is really good, it's going to be something that people find value in.
Yeah.
Whether you're teaching them how you do it or not.
Exactly.
So if there's a particular cleaner that you think is better than others on the market, that would be a great video.
Yeah.
If there's some tool you use to clean windows that is unique or different, that people might not even think about when it comes to cleaning a window, a short video about that. I think there's room for comedy there. If I was selling a service cleaning windows, I would try to be entertaining. I would try to make my videos entertaining, something that people want to share, like just funny stuff. Yeah. So I think
awesome.
That's a good example.
I love it. Well, so are your listeners out there, if you're putting your videos together, stick to those 3 tactics and or 3 ingredients, and you're going to clean up. I'm telling you, you're going to stand out in your marketplace. You're going to look different. You're going to keep their attention, and you're ultimately going to win more business. Perfect. Well, I think that's a good spot to finish up for the first session, Josh. For all you listeners, we will have another session next week, next Monday. So stay tuned. We'll talk a little bit about developing the right messaging in your video with Josh. So until next time, make sure you're subscribing to the CIBL podcast on your favorite podcast platform. While you're there, you better leave a review or I'm going to hunt you down. So you can also find us on social media, mainly Facebook and LinkedIn. You can connect with us personally as well there. Until next time, y'all been civilized. Take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Central Illinois Business Leaders Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/CIBL podcast. You can also follow us on LinkedIn. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It's the civilized thing to do.